What's up, internet users? Today I'm sitting in my car and it's raining really pretty good outside. I don't want to get out right now, so I'm just kind of chilling. But I'm going to take a minute and talk about the very first can of dip I ever bought, okay? The Copenhagen extra long cut. And yeah, let's go ahead. Right now I've got a wintergreen in right now, but we're going to go ahead and take that out. Cool little spitter too. It's my favorite spitter right there. All right, Copenhagen extra long cut natural, okay? I've already cracked this can in a previous video, but it's a pretty long cut. It's about like a red seal, okay? It's not the Copenhagen long cut. It's when they say extra long cut, they're talking about like regular long cuts. This is the same cut as a Copenhagen wintergreen, okay? So we're gonna, ooh, oh, that smells fine right there. It smells amazing. It smells just like a Copenhagen snuff or a Copenhagen long cut. Really, there's no difference in smell or flavor. It's just really the cut. For me, the release of the flavor is less. You get more flavor with the snuff. But the long cut stays in your mouth a little bit better, and it's a little easier to pinch. I'm not going to take a big old pinch here. Pretty strong. Not as strong as a red seal. It's pretty strong though. So yeah. I think I was 19 years old. I think I was 19. May have been 20. I can't quite remember. I was either 19 or 20. And I thought to myself, you know what? I want to go pick up a can of dip. So I looked at my dad's freezer. And I was like, well, let's see what my dad has. My dad just happened to have Copenhagen extra long cut. Now, my dad usually dips red seal. But for whatever reason, he couldn't get one. So we picked up the extra long cut. So, but I didn't know that. I had no clue what my dad dipped. So I just thought, okay. So I went to the store and that's what I got. You know, I knew from a kid growing up that Copenhagen was the king of dips. And that was it. So I asked for the Copenhagen extra long cut, and they gave it to me. And, yep, that was my first can. My first pinch. I finished off that can, I think in a week. Yep. It's the only can, so that was the only tobacco also that I swallowed. And I swallowed a real good bit of that tobacco. And I almost threw up, but I didn't. To this day, I've never thrown up from Copenhagen, but I almost did on that second pinch I took. The first pinch, it was great. I felt woozy and whatever because I wasn't used to it. The second pinch, I actually got a good swaller, which I always knew you weren't supposed to swallow, but I accidentally swallowed it and got a little bit in my system, but, you know, whatever. And it actually led me to get my first can of Copenhagen snuff, which I don't have a can of Copenhagen snuff on me right now, but I do enjoy the snuff. But I was at a gas station once and I asked for the extra long cut, and the guy didn't even speak English, and he didn't know what I was asking for, so he just reached for a can of Copenhagen. It was a can of Copenhagen snuff, and I was like, yeah, that one, there you go, because it looked similar. You know, it kind of does. This is like a kind of a blackish dark gray. The Copenhagen snuff is a metallic gray. And from the distance, from me standing behind the counter, I thought that was the same can. And when I picked it up in my hands, I realized that's not the same can, but whatever. And that was my first introduction to snuff, but that wasn't until several cans later. But the first several cans, well, the first can was the extra long cut. My second ever can that I bought, after I finished off the first can, was Red Seal Natural Long Cut. Because I knew my dad dipped Red Seal. So, yep. That was my first dip right there.